Imagine this. Decades ago, somewhere out in the countryside, a wild boar wandered into a pig farm. Inside, it mated with a domestic sow. That single encounter gave birth to one of the biggest rural problems modern agriculture has faced. At the time, nobody thought much of it, but today we know that this was one of the most dangerous crossings that could have happened. So, what's so bad about this mix? Let me break it down for you. It all started with a European wild boar, scientifically known as Sus scrofa. These animals come from Europe and Asia and belong to the same species as the pigs we know, just from a different subspecies. In the late 20th century, wild boars were brought into parts of the Americas, often through neighboring countries, for sport hunting and for producing exotic meat. Many people began breeding them on farms, especially in temperate regions. But it didn't take long for things to go wrong. Many escaped or were deliberately released into the wild, and that's when the real trouble began. Once free, they started mating with loose domestic pigs. The result was the infamous boar-pig hybrid, a dangerous animal that combined the worst of both worlds. From the wild boar, it inherited strength, endurance, and aggression. From the domestic pig, it gained the ability to grow fast, put on weight quickly, and reproduce at an alarming rate. While a pure wild boar might have 1 litter per year, the hybrid can have 2 or even 3 litters annually, each with up to 12 piglets. That means their population can explode in a very short time. And it doesn't stop there. These hybrids can grow even larger than pure wild boars, with males reaching over 600 pounds and females over 440. They move in large groups, covering vast areas, and when they find crops, they cause absolute devastation. Corn, soybeans, potatoes, sugarcane, fruits, gardens, they eat just about everything in sight. But their destruction goes beyond eating. They dig up the soil looking for roots, causing erosion, clogging streams, and damaging riverbanks. These animals are omnivores, meaning they eat anything. There have been reports of them killing chickens, attacking young livestock, and even going after calves. For farmers, the biggest concerns are the massive crop losses and the health risks. Why? Because these hybrids carry multiple diseases that can infect both livestock and humans. Among them are brucellosis, leptospirosis, rabies, and viral threats like African swine fever. On top of that, they can transmit dangerous zoonotic diseases, illnesses that jump from animals to people. And if that's not enough, they are aggressive. Unlike calm domestic pigs, these hybrids will charge if they feel threatened, especially females protecting their young. Males have large, sharp tusks capable of inflicting serious injuries, and there have even been reports of fatal attacks in rural areas. They're not limited to deep wilderness either. Boar-pig hybrids adapt to nearly any environment: forests, pastures, roadsides, and even areas close to towns. During the day, they hide in shady spots near water. At night, they travel far in search of food, sometimes more than 6 miles in one go. In short, they're strong, resilient, breed like crazy, eat anything, and can live just about anywhere. A true modern-day plague. So, you might be wondering, okay, but how can I tell if I'm looking at a hybrid, a wild boar, or just another type of feral pig? The answer isn't simple, but it starts with knowing that wild boars and domestic pigs are closely related. Both belong to the same species, Sus scrofa. The hybrid is simply a cross between them, a literal mix of the two. The appearance of these boar-pig hybrids can vary a lot. Some have coarse, dark fur that makes them look almost identical to wild boars. Others have spotted coats, resembling domestic pigs. Most, however, show a mix of both sides, smaller tusks than pure wild boars, but a more muscular and stocky body. And their behavior? Definitely aggressive. Many people also confuse these hybrids with native wild pig-like animals from different parts of the world, such as peccaries. But that's a whole different story. Peccaries aren't even in the same family as pigs. They belong to a separate group and play an important role in maintaining ecological balance in their habitats. For example, collared peccaries are much smaller, usually measuring about 3 feet long and weighing around 45 pounds. White-lipped peccaries are a bit bigger, reaching about 90 pounds, and live in large herds, sometimes with up to 300 individuals. Most importantly, they have different habits, less dangerous teeth, and actually help keep forests healthy. Unfortunately, in several regions, these native species are now under pressure because boar-pig hybrids compete with them for food and territory. It's just another negative impact caused by this invasive mix. Faced with so much damage, some governments have tried to act. In certain countries, wildlife agencies have officially classified wild boars and their hybrids as invasive species, allowing controlled hunting to reduce their numbers. Licensed hunters must follow strict rules, use approved traps, and report their captures to environmental authorities. Sounds effective, right? Well, not quite. In practice, poorly managed hunting has often had the opposite effect. Many experts believe it's helped spread the problem because when hunters break up a group, the animals scatter into new territories, sometimes areas where they had never been seen before. To make matters worse, there have been reports of illegal breeding operations where people secretly raise wild boars and hybrids either for meat or sport hunting. Without regulation and monitoring, the population just keeps growing. Every year, authorities shut down illegal farms and cull the animals in an effort to contain the spread. In one recent case in South America, more than 20 wild boars and hybrids were destroyed after being found in an unlicensed breeding facility. Officials reported that the owner had already been warned but continued breaking sanitary laws, even feeding the animals kitchen scraps and raw meat, something strictly prohibited because it can spread dangerous diseases like African swine fever, classical swine fever, and foot and mouth disease. Cases like this prove that the boar-pig hybrid has become a serious problem that affects not just the environment, but also public health and the economy. Without a united effort from governments, farmers, scientists, and communities, this threat will only keep growing. In some regions, the damage caused by boar-pig hybrids has already reached millions in losses, millions of dollars worth of crops wiped out. Entire fields destroyed, plantations invaded. The numbers keep growing year after year. To try to stop them, farmers are using every tool available: electric fencing, traps, tracking dogs, even drones scanning the land from above to locate roaming herds. Yet, even with all this technology, keeping these animals under control remains a massive challenge. This is one of those cases that proves how altering nature without foresight can turn into a disaster. The boar-pig hybrid is the direct result of a poorly thought-out decision decades ago, when wild boars were first introduced into new environments. Today, the situation has spiraled beyond control, and the cost is hitting hard, both environmentally and economically. The story of these hybrids is a powerful lesson. It shows that when humans interfere with natural balance irresponsibly, the consequences can be severe and often unpredictable. So, the next time you hear someone talk about these animals, you'll know it's not just some strange creature wandering around. It's one of the biggest environmental and biosecurity challenges many rural regions face today. And the more we understand about it, the better our chances of finding real solutions. If you've made it this far, you probably care about agriculture and rural life as much as we do. So don't leave without checking out this other video now on your screen: the largest wild boar farm in the world. Seriously, you need to see it. And if you want to help us keep bringing you more stories like this, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. It really helps us keep producing content for people who love life in the countryside. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.